Just want to bring your attention to a small little device you might find fairly handy for those of you who are running a French cleat storage system. Sometimes what happens with your French cleats is when you find you get a vertical load, it wants to literally crawl up. Now, that's what the intentions of a French cleat are, to reside on a 45 bevel at the back. But there's a little trick I've seen, nothing like this in my homework. There may be something out there, but I'll show you what I've come up with. I've used a small little piece of ply, and I've actually had doesn't look it, but this is about prototype number 7. Particularly paying attention to this small section down in here seemed to cause me the most grief. And what that's designed to do is to pivot in position. So what I'm doing with this is I'm going to put a small little catch on here, and the notion being that when this is fastened in the correct location, when the French cleat or whatever the item is fastening on the French cleat comes up, it won't be able to, because what it's going to do is to foul on that very small little piece right down the bottom here. Now, whilst that caused me so much drama in the initial design concept, what would happen is if you repetitiously hit it up, then what would happen over time, that would start to move away. Key things to the design are the fact that when you hold in the pivot point, which is where your fastener will be, it needs to swing into the wall. So it needs to have a weight bias on the offside to push it into the wall. Okay, so I'll just run through the process now of getting this to the correct setting to get the height correct, because as you can see it's got a small little bit of play. This would work for a range of designs, and there'll be some uploads on these, and I'll also make them in a range, so they'll be able to suit French cleats in a certain distance between here and here or larger. Just going to show you how to set the height on the cleat lock. What you'll need to do is to ensure you've got a little bit of clearance. Now, what I've done is taken some tape and put 4 layers of that. And the reason for that is it gets a pretty tight tolerance here, but there needs to be clearance, otherwise it will not work. So I've just layered it over 4 there, and I'll drop that on top here. Now we'll make certain I show you how to mark the height. Alright, that's going to sit underneath pretty tight, not forced up, but it's just sitting there firm. A little bit of clearance up here as well. We simply take your hole size and mark that back and forth with a bit of a wiggle, and what you'll see is a tiny little mark there that'll allow you to be able to sort of see it just there. It'll allow you to be able to do a small pre-drill hole in a second. Just take this off now. Just going to pre-drill that small hole first. Now, the bolt I've chosen is smaller than the hole that'll be drilled, so that'll be enough clearance to give us a little bit of leeway there. Okay, just to put that countersunk bolt in, and as you can see, it's got a little bit of ease of movement rather than some friction up in the top. So there we go, and lock this in now. You won't be able to lock it in its current position, so to put them on you must pull that back, drop your French cleat on, and what you find, that will not cause any problems to install if that's nice and free, and certainly it will make it a challenge to pull that off. So I'm going to try and pull that back this way, and as you can see, no matter what you do, that will lock underneath this cleat. So that's the principles of the design. As long as you've got gravity on your side, I'm sure it'll work for you. So I'll get these uploaded, and if they're any good to you, by all means, grab them and help my channel and my hobby out. Okay, thanks very much for listening and watching, guys. Alright, I just got the other one mounted on the left and on the right. So to install, put it above the French cleat, drop it straight down. Now this time, both sides are in operation and they will not lift at all. All right, thanks guys.